So it's one from each threat level and one from each week. So this is probably the one we care about. Yep, that's good stuff. And this is good stuff. Do I care about level 3? Wait. Okay, there's level 3. I'm going insane. Eh, it is 2 of them. We'll see. Okay, so I will come back to that and repeat when I have to repeat. What have I not finished yet? Okay, I finished level 5. So let's go ahead and focus on actually finishing level 5. And so who do I need to focus on for episode 4? I have this saved over here. Oh, there are 3 levels. Okay. So Aegon, Black Bolt, Venom Pool. Then the boss. Okay, let's take a look. So Aegon's over there, Black Bolt's over here, Venom Pool's over here. Okay, that's the normal order I would do these anyway. We're just going to have to repeat a few in the earlier weeks. Not the biggest deal. I do agree with people that it would be a little more fun if, what you call it? What's the word? Oh yeah, if the quest itself wasn't by default a bit more, or wasn't by default so repetitive. Hey, Bean Timmer, how's it going? Um, I think I'm good practicing this list. Is there anyone that I particularly feel like I need to work with right now? Oh, I forgot I duped Black Cat. I'm still happy about that. Cool. Let's just call this for now. Yeah, it's definitely tedious. I'd rather, like, probably the rewards just have been consolidated into 3 paths, and then every tile have cost 2 energy. Because there's so much energy in it, right? Like in the rewards. The energy isn't the problem. Just like make it cost more energy and have it be 3 paths instead of 5, and then I don't really think anybody would care all that much. Hey, Ash. I don't really care that these objectives that make you go back through it only come out in the last week because it's all that comes out in the last week, if that makes sense. So that part I don't really mind, but it would definitely sit a little easier given the other changes. Oh, I didn't use the pre-fight. I was like, where's my second cold snap? Oh, this is what happens when I have a beer. It's a good beer, though. Feel like this quest really helped me learn the special one timing? Yeah. I think I've gotten better at the not slowing down, but honestly, I think I'm just going to focus on getting even more consistent with slowing down because I just don't see myself risking it in battlegrounds. Because, like, it feels like one of those things like when people say that Mystic Dispersion 5 isn't worth it because they always focus on the times when having the fifth point pushes you red and you wanted your special 2, right? But they always forget about the times that having the fifth point gets you to your special 1 or your special 2 from buffs expiring when you wouldn't have had those specials at all, and the fight would have been harder because of it. Like that's a thing I've what's the thing? That's a soapbox I've been on for a long time. And I feel like Kate's special timing is probably going to be similar, where unless you are just perfect at doing it without slowing down, the few times when, because you didn't slow down, you miss the perfect release and you get a non-perfect cold snap and it loses you the fight are going to outweigh the very, very, very few times when you literally lose by 1 or 2 seconds because you slowed down. So, in my opinion, it is more important to practice slowing down late and for a small amount of time than it is to practice not slowing down at all. I don't know, Ash, but that doesn't sound correct. Unless you run recoil at all times. I also had some wine earlier, sorry. How's it going, man? Hype, thank you. Hey, Ryan. Yeah, I am working on a third champion. Their kit is set. I'm just working on tuning, and then I'll be passing them off to QA within the next week. They're not coming out till August, so you've got some time. But yeah, I am very happy about them. Hey, Chris. Yeah, vanilla. I am. It's on the list. That's very weird, Ash. I'll keep an eye on it, but that I don't know. Do you have the fragility up? Hey, Joey, how's it going? Sorry you didn't have a great day at work. What was that about 2K with basic crits? Because that was like 3 and 4.5. Were you just looking at the wrong number, Ash? Hey, Dot. I'm sorry you haven't been getting her. So, and also, sorry the video feed just dropped out. That was the HDMI cord. Yeah, Ryan, it is. Intentionally so, but it is absolutely what we are going to be keeping an eye on as her balancing data comes up. Whoa! Okay. Like, I didn't intend to eat that heavy. I'm not saying that that was intelligent, but was not expecting that crit. Okay, I'll take that. I need to get better at using the medium into it instead of just the medium, but that worked. That's funny, Bean. Don't think I've had a war without Cap Sam, Chavez, or Wags on my team. Very nice. That sounds fun. Hey, Zach, how's it going? Welcome, Wolf. And hey, Walrus. I'm not sure rank 4 Taskmaster is worth it, but definitely is fun. Hey, Rye. Kate's gonna be first rank 4. Nice. It's cool to hear. Masakre, Shang, Cassie, Hood, Longshot. Yeah, that's a good list. That's what I should have done tonight. I should have done the live stream for the Attuma testing. We still can switch over. Maybe I will in a little bit. Hey, Odysseus, how's it going? I've been meaning to do that all week, Wolf, and every time I think about it, I'm like, you know what? I need to do some battlegrounds. I Need to do some side quests. There's just so much to do. Thank you, Mark. Okay, I'm pretty proud of that one. Missed this side quest action. Hey, Kate is fun. Oof, that's tough, Joey. That's one of the reasons that I play War on my iPad instead of my phone, so I just never forget about Do Not Disturb, because my iPad is just permanently on Do Not Disturb. Yeah, I very much hope that we have multiple generic 3 to 4 gems somewhere in July 4th without breaking the bank. That feels like the kind of thing where at this point there could be like a couple for units, and I don't know, throw them on the Black Panthers or the Star Lords or something. Maybe the Star Lords. Some of the later game players may not care as much if you put them in. I don't know. It depends on what else is there with them, right? Like even late game players probably care about 3 to 4 gems in the Black Panthers if you also have 7-star shards or something. One way or another, I want a bunch of rank 4s in a month and a half. Well, literally just like a month, because it's June now, and that sale actually starts before July 4th. That'll be interesting. I actually strongly prefer it, Ash, but I also have very large hands. So it's probably easier for me to get used to it. Oh, I don't know why I did that. That's okay. That's the worst thing about Shang-Chi for me, is that I get in a rhythm and I end up just repeating strikes. Hmm. See, that's the thing, is that I'm not necessarily sure that the T3A T6B has to get that much better. Because they are still important resources, and you don't want that part to become trivial. But that's why I specifically said 3 to 4 gems in July 4th, so that we can get rank 4s without it competing with 7 stars. My biggest hope for July 4th is that we don't feel like 7 stars are competing with 6 stars. We feel like we can progress both. Our knock life makes that a little harder. Maybe we don't do that again. Or we just make sure to do the unblockable, not into block first, and then it's fine. Yeah, Shang-Chi would be a very good candidate for the prowess one. Whoa! I don't remember asking you to back up. This Drax has such a stupid amount of health. I don't know why I thought that would kill him. That's fine. I don't know that I really buy that, Dot, because War was just bumped. We haven't seen, like, wasn't War just bumped and we haven't seen the payout yet? Like, wasn't War bumped for this season? Just because we haven't gotten those rewards yet doesn't mean they're not there. And Battlegrounds was just bumped. Right, but just because we haven't gotten the payout doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's kind of weird for that resource to be buffed in two very large, high profile places, and for people to say it needs to improve further just out of what feels like impatience to me. Like, it has been buffed. These things just go on cycles. But that's kind of the thing, Odysseus, is like, I kind of think underwhelming is good, especially in light of the fact that we just had the 7-star launch event. And like, that was the 7-star launch event. That was a rarity launch event. That's the kind of thing we don't want to happen multiple times a year, right? Like, nobody wants 8 stars in December. And so that's supposed to be a rare thing. If that's supposed to be a rare thing, then the consistent updates to the side quest, to War, and to Battlegrounds will feel a little underwhelming next to it, but that doesn't mean those are wrong. It probably means they're more responsible in the long term. I would rather the economy team be more responsible and not just constantly be trying to make everybody overwhelmed all the time, you know? I agree that R3s feel a lot less relevant at the top, yeah. 6 stars are very good, but rank 3s feel pretty old. I don't even know about that, Dot. Like, AQ's doing fine. Glory Star will be updated eventually. When it is, great. But AQ is already just like flooding us with rank 3 resources. It's flooding us with the tier 5 basic and the tier 2 alpha we need for rank 4s anyway. I feel like AQ is super worth it. I'm not really bothered. When it gets better, it gets better. Anything I'm willing to share about Danny and Deathstrike? I like both of them. Not really much more than I can offer at the moment. The trade-in gem thing is very difficult, Robert. Because the thing is that, like, it's difficult to build something that properly recognizes where the line is in between you should be using 5-star gems, but you're not because somebody with a larger account told you should save them to trade in for a 6-star gem. And no, 5-star gems are actually trivial to you now, and so you should be able to trade them in for 6 stars, right? Like, it's not that we'll never get something like that again, but the reason we said we'll never get that again, that Kabam Mike said that that store is not coming back, is because it did incentivize hoarding, and not in a good way. Because, like, yes, people who truly have more of a specific class of gem than they can ever use should be able to get something out of it, and something more than 100 gold. But at the same time, the game should be set up so that people who have like 20 unawakened 5 stars and are probably in line chats and on the forums complaining about how, oh, well, this person isn't awakened and they're only good with Sig. Why does Kabam keep releasing characters that are only good with their Sig? Are also refusing to use their awakening gems because they're holding on to them to trade them up for a 6-star gem. Like, that's not something we want. And going forward, we wouldn't want people who should be using 6-star gems to be refusing to use them while also complaining about how bad their characters are without their SIGs because they're waiting for 7-star gems in the future, right? Like, that's... Yeah, that's not... You have to avoid that dynamic, and that makes things tricky. Would I ever say I didn't like a new champ? Probably not on air. That'd be pretty rude to my coworker. And I will say that there are, and I've said this to my coworker, like there are one or two things in one of their kits that I think probably could have not been there and it would have been fine, but that doesn't mean I don't like the character overall. Both of them have very clear, obvious utility. I will say I think that Danny is aimed at a somewhat wider audience because she has like things you immediately want from a mutant that I think everybody wants from a mutant. Whereas Lady Deathstrike is powerful and cool, but her playstyle, basically her designer did a really good job of capturing the like
Berserk Wolverine adjacent thing. And so she's not going to be for everyone. And I think that is as much as I can say, and maybe more than I should have said, but
Such is the IPA.
Five-star Awakening Gems was not on my DLL rant bingo card today. It's just the thing, like, a lot of people will think, um, a lot of people will listen to YouTubers who are in the end game and think that they should be doing what those YouTubers should be doing. Or just like people on forums or people in line chats, right? Like, and that's something that we can't directly control, and it's not our fault that people are listening to advice that isn't aimed at them. But we don't want to build systems that exacerbate those problems. We don't want to build in the option for like for you to hurt your account now because something might be slightly more optimal 6 months down the line, right? That's not how we want to work. Yeah, she falls into the cybernetically enhanced side of things, Ryan. So in most versions, at least, tech does make sense. But I get that confusion for sure. Jeez. I wasn't expecting that. That almost felt like a power sting. Did you see that? The double caltrops did 11,000 when he tried to dash forward. Woof. I think I was doing okay, Ash. um, nice try, Odysseus. I'm pretty sure the Cassie and Zane stuff isn't public yet. Yeah, heavy assault is kind of silly. Whoops, I don't know why I did that. Yeah, because the cold snap is every half second, right? The caltrops requires the opponent to actually do something. And it's something that they're not doing if the only thing they're doing is getting hit and throwing specials. You kind of have to let them do something else. It can play into her loop if you're baiting heavies, but that's why the caltrops is tuned as high as it is. Because if it wasn't that, you probably wouldn't notice it. No, the caltrops is not a power sting. I mean, it's similar in a sense in that it is damage that triggers when the opponent does X, right? It is not a power sting type, but it is instant damage when the opponent does something, right? So there are some thematic links. Ouch. Double ouch. Alright, let's see if we survive the special 3. We at least have the cleanse up. It's not in her description on Aunt May Wolf, but that's, or at least I don't know if it is. But that's because I glossarized it. This is something I've seen a lot of people say recently. Is like, man, why does Caban keep not telling us what things do? And it's because they're only ever looking on Aunt May and not in the game, and so they miss this. Hey, BT. No, I was not. Some people I know were, and it is a sad time, but I am okay and I appreciate it. That's very lucky, Ash. She was actually my first one this feature as well, which led to a lot of people's conspiracy theories, but it is what it is. No, 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 no. I get it, Robert. I'm not saying like spy on you for asking or anything like that. I'm just saying that there's a lot involved in building that properly so that it doesn't create perverse incentives. And therefore, it's a pretty big question for something that is ultimately more of a quality of life concern than like this is a real game problem concern. And so, like, I think it's something that we'll get to. I just don't know when. Because trust me, I haven't used a 5-star gem in probably over a year. I get it. Ouch. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it was quite early. Yeah, that was a funny moment. Yeah, I hope you do get her soon, Faith. Freddie asked, do I think I'll ever be part of a Kabam live stream? Maybe at some point. I'm not really in a rush. If I wanted to do a face reveal, I would have. I am not choosing a favorite between between my children. No, thank you. Yeah, I know, Wolf, and I tried adjusting it. And ultimately, I feel like the Special 2 probably is in the right place. But it's just the animation is so much less obvious to me. No crits. Rude. Thanks, SYC. I appreciate it. Hey, Usafa. Why are my Mystic 6-star Awakening Gems capped at 5? Oh, yeah. I think that's going to get fixed soon. I know it's been brought up internally. Because there is no good reason. Any thoughts on June champs? I said a little bit earlier. I think Danny is going to be more desirable to more people, and Lady Deathstrike is probably going to be a little bit more on the like Kate or Viv side, where it's just like she's not for everybody. But I think they're both very good. As far as Alliance War focused, I could see uses for both of them. Yeah, I think I would say that both of them are probably more aimed at battlegrounds. I legitimately don't have a favorite out of these two, Ryan. It's too early, and they're both like I'm so happy with both of them. Like it feels like you have the one student who made like state in science fair, and the other one who's like I don't know quarterback of the high school football team that also went to state. I just like I can't pick. They're aimed at different things. Kate was intentionally more about gameplay and having fun. Carl is like, I want you to feel like a boxer and I want him to be good in war. And like, they both are exactly what I wanted from them. And I don't feel like I need to pick more than that. Wasn't watching the protection coming back. That's on me. Ooh. Very weird. I hate sunspots heavy. It's interesting to see him thrown that far back by the heavy, even when you block it. I hadn't thought about that part of animation. My last two matches in Battlegrounds, Adam Warlock killed my Doom and Mephisto in 55 seconds. Yeesh. Yeah. Adam is definitely in a place where it is difficult to stop him if your opponent is good. I'm not sure what I recommend there. Excuse me. Still hate the Venom combos so much. It's also the worst part about Kate, honestly, is her dashback. Always has been. So I just need to be more precise with my timing. Hey, Snoops. Lady Deathstrike's animations look a tad bit Tigra. She does have the double mediums, yeah. You're definitely not going to be throwing the heavy as much as you are with Tigra. Kate needs to stop impressing me. I don't have resources. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I'm very happy with both. That was my fault. I shouldn't have tried to do that heavy. I was being a little cheeky. Long is fun. I do need to get better with him. Yeah, the model and animations on Danny are incredible. They did a really good job. I died. I'm guessing that's 2 Black Widow, 3 times with Kate because I couldn't X her special. Welp, that'll do it. Oh, gotcha, right. That's funny. Hey, Ernest. I remember these felt really scarce recently, so good on them for fixing that, or at least stepping it up. Oh, go grab science for now. Cool. Still plenty to do in the side quest, but I do actually want to spend some time with Attuma testing, so let's hop over to that. But first, oh wow, we are close to 2. I didn't even realize that. Mm. Oh wow, we have a lot to open. Excellent. Do I have any quick way to grab 2,000 6-star shards without spending stuff? Okay, that helps. There's 500. Let's just open a couple of these. I don't really care about specific classes of ISO right now. What do we got? Hey, Viraj. Wanted to say hi before I go to sleep. I remember the other day I asked who are counters to future Ant-Man. I have yet to test how reliable is, but Spot handled them well. Interesting. Of course, I get a new one. Yeah, Spot is an interesting one for him, but I guess you don't actually land that many hits in rapid succession, so I can see some advantages there. I do think that is aimed at next update, Hanach, but I can't guarantee it. Might have to grind for Danny and Arena. New Mutant is too good to pass up. By chance, can I say which one is coming out first? That one, that I definitely cannot say. I'm gonna have to update the thumbnail after this stream is done. All right, I'm gonna double pop. Come on. I think the victory track changes are great. I'm really happy with them. Well, that isn't Viv. Sigs on Cassie doesn't hurt. Maybe someday I'll give up. All right, let's open these real quick. Ooh. Love seeing that. Think that's already on my Hyperion. Nice. I don't know who that's going on, but it's a good one. All right. Let's see. This is crystal number 10. Wow. Ah, 2 dupes out of 10. Well, he probably starts making my deck now over the rank 3. Yeah, I'll take the Titan shards. What's the conversion rate? 17 seconds? It's basically not there. His sig needs to be pretty darn high before you feel it. I guess block prof for him is pretty good. Just with how much parry heavying you'll be doing and how much his damage doesn't really care about his other stats. Absolutely block pen. He already has some. Make it worse. Yeah, I'll start running him again. I mean, Mysterio is my Thronebreaker rank up, so like I'm a little annoyed at this dupe, but it's not because I don't think he's good. It's because I value his sig quite a bit, and it's not going to be that much higher for a while. Like, look at where my rank 3 is at 160. A gas every 8 seconds is way better than every 17. But it's also because he was my Thronebreaker rank up, I just used Mysterio for a lot. And I could go for a while longer without playing him, but I'm not going to be too sad about it. This probably means I will take my Penny Parker up pretty quickly, though, since they pair together so well. Oh well, it's an interesting one. I've absolutely been through this before with him, Snoops, yes. I've pulled 3 surfers. That's actually pretty amazing, but I understand not being super excited about it. Yeah, we're past the Attuma balance embargo, so I am cool to go ahead and pull this up. Let's switch servers. Oh, I do need to sign up in this. I will do that later. I mean, I probably don't even need to sign up for it, right? Because I'm just in the CCP. Whatever. Let's do this. Him, Penny, and I do. Yeah, that is a really good tribunal. The only reason it's not truly amazing is because they're all tech. So you only have so much available. Okay, so first question. Do I even have a Tuma? Okay, I have not updated my account since I got a Tuma. But is he in here? He is not. Okay, well, I can start up my other computer and add him to my account, but for now, let's just focus on defense then. Did any CCP member do Attuma content? I don't know. We're definitely allowed to, though. I just double checked the embargo. Feel you. I took my Mysterio a couple days before the 7-star pool was announced. Guess who my first 7-star was? Yeah, man. I think my. I don't know if he was my first, but one of my first 3 7-stars. No, actually, I think Titania was my first, which I'm super pumped about. But I think one of my first 3 was Killmonger, who was one of my first Sig 200s. It happens. I've got 12 7-stars, no dupes yet. Well, congrats on in one way, but yeah, I get you. Titan crystals definitely are intended to be a ways away. We There's going to be some fun stuff involved there. Definitely tune into the live stream tomorrow if y'all can. Um, I'm excited about that whole process. Maybe, Chris. I'm definitely more interested in tuning up or just reworking from scratch Laura first. but maybe. Would I rank 2 Surfer just for prestige? Maybe. Probably not quickly, but I also just like Surfer. And I think he'd be solid as a 7-star as long as you're good with him. Okay, so let's test a few different options for Attuma. First off, let's go ahead and bring Doom because he has been one of the really popular ones. Let's bring iDoom because he's probably who I assign to Attuma in war more than anybody else. Let's bring Carl because physical resistance. Let's prove how awful Valkyrie is. We'll come back. And sure, Gambit. Why not? Why iDoom for Attuma? Because he has very easy access to shock, and so controls hydration decently well, and he has non-contact mediums. You don't assign Kitty to Attuma? Kitty's fine, yeah. We can try that one as well. I just picked the first 5 that seemed relevant. So, yeah, first thing to note. I think this might actually be inaccurate because it's higher than 130. I don't know where that's coming from. But basically like this new SIG is one of the biggest parts. Um yeah, I think maybe the wrong curves came over again. That sounds likely. Because as we all remember, his bleed debuffs can be reduced up to 90%. And he has up, I believe the final value is 205% chance to start with a personal concussion. And since it's a Tuma, that means that he is guaranteed to start with 2 concussions, and he has a 5% chance to start with 3. And that matters because now, I mean, that just means that he literally comes out of the gate with his chance for all of his abilities to work doubled. Where's the thorns? Yeah, and the thorns chance is now 25 instead of 15. And if you have a Sig 200 Attuma, that is doubled to 50% at the beginning. So immediately a huge boost. I am working on another champ, Faith. I've mentioned that enough times that it's not a leak. They are coming in August. Normally use Scorpion for Attuma with Shock. Yeah, and I understand why. Because right now, nobody cares about his Thorn. And that's why, like, Doom has been very common because he has easy access to Shock, and that's been enough. See, so this time he started with 1 concussion, and note how immediately Thorns now triggers on block. So this is much, much worse than Doom used to be. You're seeing a lot of little Thorns bits here. And note that this concussion is indefinite unless we give him a second, right? So if I parry him here and he gains more concussions, then now all of them start falling off. But the trade-off for that is that now he has 3 concussions. Which is bad. See how the Thorns is almost guaranteed if I choose to go this route. Whoops, that's on me. The cruelties last significantly longer. I'm going to wait to throw this special 3. Oh, and yeah, that was an accidental parry. Way scarier now. See, I'm going to die with Doom here. I made 2 mistakes, but I can no longer afford them. And so that is a significant change. Sorry, when I said I was going to die, I was wrong. But that was close. And see, most of that damage was thorns. And so let's check the buff here. So that is about a Battlegrounds health pool. And remember, a Max Sig Attuma, something's wrong with the curves here. A Max Sig Attuma starts with 2 concussions and so is actually worse. He is a real threat now. So let's try iDoom and see how much the non-contact actually helps us. Back to Namor. Namor has gotten a lot better, yes. So if you medium, you're fine. But that means you're probably taking a fair amount of block damage. It's also much slower. We can control hydration really easily, so there's basically no chance of him going unstoppable. And we can bait specials more freely because that medium into his block isn't as much of a problem. You can see how this works. But because there's more of a risk from throwing light attacks, it's definitely a little bit slower and or not quite as clean as it used to be. Yeah, Saragos. There's a very good reason to sig him now. So yeah, iDoom is solid, and probably still going to be fine in war a lot of the time. But that is because he both has non-contact attacks and easy access to shock. Definitely not going to be as good in Battlegrounds. We can try Carl here, where we have an answer to Thorns because we have physical resistance. But we have no answer to his hydration, and so we're a little bit on a clock here. Because as you can see, that's pretty good, but he was at 12 hydration. If he had thrown another special and gotten lucky, because remember, he's also missing a concussion right now from when he's at Sig 200. If he had thrown another special, he could have been at 20, and then our tempo just would have crashed through the floor because he would have been unstoppable. Does anything about Attuma make White Mags a bad counter? Yeah, House of X, I can test that next. Let me get through Valkyrie and then Gambit. So, Magneto House of X is fine because you can parry, and so you can mitigate block damage. But even though his hits are energy, they are still contact. And so you will take full thorns. So that part's pretty miserable. Valkyrie has basically lost all of her advantage now. Because even when you hit his block, the thorn still comes. You're giving him less power, so you do have to worry a bit less about hydration, but you still have to hit him a bunch. You see that we're barely staying ahead of him in the health pool race. Now, this will get better when we get to our special 3, of course. Or special 2, sorry. Whoops. Okay, if I had been a little bit more careful, then like we definitely would have closed this out pretty well. Valkyrie can still win, and can probably still win at 80%, but that is not the free win that it used to be. All right, let me try Gambit, and then I'll start taking some of these suggestions. That's exactly what I wanted to do this stream, is test some of these things. What's that white passive that appeared? Honestly, I have no idea. So can still use her in war. I think you can still use Valkyrie in war for path fights. I would be very skeptical about more complex minis, and I would not take an Attuma boss with Valkyrie. Because the thing to remember is that often against larger health pools, one of the ways that Valkyrie speeds things up is to throw her special one into block and get her evades going, but Attuma has true accuracy. And so you are going to actually have to earn 2 full special 2s or more, and it's going to be tough. Now, of course, you can boost. I don't want to ignore that part. And, like, you can use a House of X with any of these other counters, like I do. So it's not like Attuma is going to suddenly be a brick wall in war that nobody can get through, but he is definitely more of a threat than he currently is. So it turns out Gambit's a pretty good 7-star. And that's without a relic. That's pretty intense. Jeez. Do I think Gallon can take him with the physical resistance buffs? I would only use Gallon if I had to because of the node, like Buffet or something. Then I think he could probably get through him. But Gallon's resistance buffs are intentionally very small. They are primarily a resource more than they are a defense. And so I don't think he would be particularly good. Okay, I have a rank 3 Havoc. There's Kitty, let's try that. Let's go ahead and give Bishop a go. Oh yeah, somebody asked for Nova. Let's do that. And then, oh yeah, House of X. Okay, that's our next list. Rude frequency. It's almost like giving value to Thorns counters was part of the purpose of Attuma. Yeah, let's try Nova. So I don't expect this one to be particularly good because, whoops, well, that, for one thing. But the other problem is that Nova has the non-contact mediums, but you normally don't want to start the fight with medium with him. This is definitely working okay if you have a large Nova. Whoops. There we go. Oh man, I thought I was going to get to the special 2 there. Was almost amazing. Still pretty good though. I definitely think that as I get more comfortable with that, I could take him in Battlegrounds with Nova. That's not quite Gambit level, but that's decent. Break glass in case of emergency? Absolutely. Keep in mind this is a very high SIG rank 4 Nova. But yeah, that works. Shuri? Yeah, I can grab Shuri in a second. For sure. Shuri is definitely intended to be a good counter. She's very close to perfect. Shuri with Magneto House of X pre-fight is about as good as it gets. Time to rank Namor again. Also intentional. So yeah, you can see that we can parry freely, but we are definitely losing Thorn's damage. Alright, come on, throw it. Stupid water ball. The other important thing about House of X is that Attuma is not metal, and so your bleeds from the special 2 are just not going to do a lot. And see, there's the problem. If you don't have access to shock, it is now so much easier for him to go unstoppable. Tough fight. Hey, B, how's it going? Would Omega Red work as a counter? Omega works as a Thorns counter. He does not work as a Purify counter. So you don't want to parry normally, but Omega Red with the House of X pre-fight absolutely destroys Attuma in war, yes. How does the buff affect shrugging? Same way as normal. It's because the shrug was always guaranteed to happen, right? As long as it was a stun debuff. And it was extra guaranteed to happen against Apocalypse and an Omega Red because they were trying to mess with his ability accuracy. Would Guardian work? Guardian's hits are contact. They're energy, but they're contact. So that's probably not ideal. Give me one intercept. Fine. I'll take crits. Now, I am not the best kitty player in the world, so apologies to those of y'all who would do a better job than this. But yeah, she works. No, the Thorns is physical damage wolf. That's why Carl handled him okay. Maybe Maw could work. Yeah. Maw is probably somewhat similar to Nova in the break glass side of things. Yeah, exactly, Saragos. You don't necessarily need to avoid debuffs. It's not like ramping Kingpin. You just have to not parry. So you're seeing here, Attuma also got a bump to his base block penetration, and that is absolutely why this fight has started off kind of rough with my poor rank 3. You'll notice that with Havoc, I do actually intentionally parry. Because of the Purify punishment. Woo! He just caught me with that light there. That that Thorn's damage was insane. Yeah, it's a tough fight. Alright, let me parry you one more time, sir. Thank you. I agree, Frequency. Atuma's definitely going to be harder, but, like, this is what he was supposed to be, right? This was his primary purpose. He seems much harder when he starts with 2 concussions. He is. He absolutely is. And I actually think that the hydration gain aspect of it is almost worse than the extra thorns. Because if you're fighting Attuma, you're probably bringing some kind of thorns counter. But the extra hydration is rough. Whoops. Forgot how bad Bishop's heavy was. Apologies. So, like, Bishop controls the hydration well. you parry, you do good damage. But the thorns is a real consideration. Because, like, if I hit him, it hurts. Two concussions is guaranteed at SIG 200, yes. There is a 1 in 20 chance for a third. Havoc only punishes purification of his plasma debuffs? Correct. I've tried Toad. It's bad. Um, Professor X has a lot of non-contact. Let's try that. Strife is rough, but I owe it to y'all to show you why. Sunspot's a good one to test because he used to be able to just nuke it through pretty effectively. And it is not awesome now. Oh, and then another one I used to use. Let's try Hyperion. Can you get away with Hulkling? Probably through raw damage, but you are going to take some hits for it. Would the concussions from the SIG apply immediately? No, Saraghost. It all runs at the same time. It's a single calculation. Didn't even mean to hit him there. That was just an accidental one. Yeah, you can see the block damage is not fun. So you can definitely still get him down with Sunspot, but it hurts more. Hey, Leninos, how's it going? What the special 2 cruelty duration get increased to? I forget. I think it was, what, 12? So I think 16? It's that first medium that's the problem with Professor X. And then his lights cover no ground. Good lord. I didn't realize it was that bad. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, it's my fault. I took a risk. Did not pay off. Yeah, Chuck works, but I wouldn't want to do this in Battlegrounds. I probably would have finished at what, like 80% if I hadn't made that mistake. Um, Not terrible, but not quick and not great. When using Gambit versus Attuma, avoid special 2? I don't think you have to, because in a very long fight, maybe, because the concussions will feed his hydration, but then you can just kind of parry to deal with the hydration. Because the thing about Gambit is that you're using mostly staff attacks anyway, and so you're bypassing the thorns. That's the key. Yeah, exactly. He's just too slow. But I wouldn't be shocked to see Chuck in war, especially with the House of X pre-fight. Strife is okay, but the block proficiency hurts. As does the fact that that was a synergy that just saved me if you mess up. So I don't recommend relying on that. And the fact that Strife is only a partial Thorns counter is definitely annoying. Like, he's fine against Korg, where you only need it some of the times, but it adds up there. Would Void work? Technically, in a long sense, but I think you'd start running into the block pen there, and that doesn't sound fun. Nebula does not get around the thorns, no. Nebula fully ramped, like, with the Trinity and everything, definitely gets him down. But that's because Nebula with the Trinity, with a Power Start 1, with recoil, kills pretty much everything that isn't resistant or immune to shock. That's kind of like saying water is wet. I didn't realize he got up that quickly. That's annoying. Yep, I knew that wouldn't work. So with Maw, you'd basically have to get in 2 special 2s, it looks like. Which you definitely could do. I could play this a lot cleaner. But this is definitely more of a break glass in case of emergency than Nova is. Because now we just have to basically wait until the falter comes back. Because otherwise he would have gone unstoppable. Cool. Yeah, it really does. Oops. TLDR for anyone joining Gambit. Good. Gambit has definitely been the standout so far, hasn't he? I do owe it to myself to try Omega Red, because he works. And I think this would be entirely too slow for Battlegrounds without really good RNG, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. This is another break glass in case of emergency, but does work. But that's just kind of because hype is great. Ugh, gross. Okay. Need to practice actually intercepting him with the special. Or doing that. Yeah, this is the CCP beta. Kabam Neuro built us a map specifically for this so that we can test rebalances along these lines. It's incredibly helpful, as you can see. And that is a rank 4 Hyperion. So it's not... That's about as good as it gets. Variant 4 Electric Flashback. A little bit. Hype's creator made a lot of characters. I think their last one was actually CGR, but I don't want you to judge by that. They had a lot of pretty reasonably balanced ones, too. Is this Namor Sig 100 or Sig 200? Yes, they are. So even though that's a 455, let's go ahead and test them. Is there... Oh, Shuri. Duh. Let's make sure to do that. You know who would be an interesting dark horse? I don't expect this to do anything spectacular, but let's see. Me having every 7-star is very confusing. Yeah, no, that is the bait. It is possible to build custom maps, yes, Leninos, on the dev side of things. Like when I was testing Absorbing Man, I put him on a bunch of defensive war nodes, and I put a bunch of like people on hazard shift counters for him to fight, because otherwise you would just lose an insane amount of playtesting time hunting down relevant matchups in story content. So yes, that is possible. See, that works okay. You feel the block damage, but it's not bad. And it's decently quick. This is a rank 3 Sig 200 Omega. Or Sig 160, something high. No, it is 200 here. Cool. What's my favorite game mode? Definitely War. I wouldn't bet on Hood because Hood is another one of those where it's like they have energy damage, um, but their hits are still contact. Hood also has the problem that when you have the Fate Seal active, you would actually be spiking his Thorn's chance, not reducing it. So I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, well, it goes both ways, guys. Like, there's, on the one hand, yes, there's anytime somebody doesn't like a character, you're basically asking for harassment. This is like, wow, what chump made Spider-Man 2099? That character's awful. And then you have like months of abuse until the community finally figures out, oh, actually, they're really good. There's a, yeah, like there's the abuse side of things. There's one creator in particular that I've learned an incredible amount from, and I think has made some really good characters. But a lot of theirs are underrated, and I feel like that would probably lead to some pretty ugly crowd. I kind of failed to decide which curse word I was going to use in there, but I think the community would get really ugly over that. But the thing is, it goes on the other side too, because I mean, I'm not hiding who I built from y'all. I don't think I could, but it makes me feel kind of weird to let you know exactly who I built. Because I also don't really like the ego aspect of it, right? Like on the one hand, I am proud of the characters I built. It is my portfolio. It's what I'm adding to the game in a very real sense. It means a lot to me. But I also don't want it to be like, oh wow. Like let's use the example of I always have to use Gladiator because he's the only one coming up that's announced. But it's like, you know, people have asked me if I'm designing Gladiator. I don't want it to be a disappointment if I say no, right? Because anyone else on the team is going to do a good job. That's the whole point of the team. So I have very mixed feelings about that. And I think it's probably a good thing that we don't sign our champions. That was on me for being a bit late. I'm playing this poorly. Very poorly, because I just acted like I had untouchable. Okay, hold on. Let's restart this completely. I share that criticism, Luke. I don't like that ability defensively. I don't think it really needs to be there. I think it needs an escape valve that it doesn't have, right? This is buff. I think it's buffed Shuri. It's definitely buffed Attuma. No, this isn't buffed Shuri. Because if it were buffed Shuri, the special one would have refreshed and paused the shocks. Whoops, that's on me. Yeah, so that's why this is so slow. I was thinking it was probably a bit slow. Ugh. Dude loves blocking. Alright, yeah, that's not really worth showing because she is still slow, but you can see that we're taking no thorns, right? Yes, passive shocks interact with Attuma's kit. It's exactly the same as any other shock. Shuri is very good. She's even good at quick damage. It's just this isn't her buffed form, so don't worry about her. Hey, B-More, how's it going? Black Panther would be an amazing 7-star.
That's one in particular I'll point to.
Alright, let's try the absolute gold standard. Shuri buff will go live same time as Attuma with the next update. Oh, this is actually a good way to show off something interesting. Because while Namor with House of X is perfect in some ways, you actually don't want the House of X in others because I don't have a way to control the hydration. Because that's normally when you're using Namor, your way to control the hydration is by parrying and intentionally turning on more concussions. Yeah, because we'll try this, and then I'll show you what it looks like without House of X, and I think it's actually better without. You'll take more block damage, which is bad against this 5-star. Yeah, see? Like, if this were a 6-star Namor, we'd be fine. But it's not, and so we're not. Unblockable specials really saved us there. Yeah, but Korg is a much better defender than Night Thrasher, and so instantly has value. I think that Night Thrasher would be an interesting 7-star, but I don't think he would have been good in the launch pool. The thorn damage scales with the rarity. That's not really true. Not in a way that anything Night Thrasher doesn't. Hey, Double P. Alright, now let's show it without it. Whoops. Yeah, you cannot make that mistake. But you see how we were actually doing more damage before. I'm going to try that one more time. Because it is worth showing how you punch up with Namor against a big Attuma. Because I think people probably will be, if they don't have some of these other options, I think people will be running lower rarity Namors to deal with Attuma. See, now he throws the special. We just assume he goes unstoppable at some point. We reflect an absolute ton of Thorns damage, but we never punish specials. More water-based characters. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely options for more Talokani, or more Atlanteans, both. I would love to also see Crystal, like, more in humans. See, that's at 80 seconds for a rank 4 5-star. That is faster than a lot of the 6-star rank 3 options we tested. And so that's what I mean. Like, I do think that that was worth doing again, because this is what people are going to be using sometimes. Who do I like more between Viv and Zane, assuming Awaken a decent Sig level? They just do very different things. I don't really feel comfortable picking a winner. I think I'm more comfortable using Zane for more. I feel like I would have to duel more specifically with Viv, but that might change as I got to use her more. So I don't know. There's a really good option, or there's a really good argument for both of them, honestly. Water debuff? You mean cold snap? I'm half kidding. Anywho, I think I'm going to go ahead and call the stream here. I will fix the thumbnail later. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out. I've been meaning to do this one for a little bit. And this was definitely interesting to me as well. Seven stars, Sig 20 Korg. Right, but that's just because the base attack is higher. That's what I mean is, like, if you say it scales by rarity, to me that makes it sound like it's like Mr. Fantastic's or Odin's pre-fights, where it actually proportionally gets better with rarity, and that's not true. So that's why I was pushing back on that. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out, and I will see you all soon. Be sure to be there for the live stream tomorrow if you are free. It's going to be fun. Take care, everybody.